Hey everybody, welcome to Feedback Friday. My name is
What's going
Dani.
on?
I'm the A&R here at MDIIO. Today I'm joined with a special guest, Jay Will. How's it going, man?
I'm doing quite well. I'm super duper excited to kind of listen to a bunch of awesome music for sync licensing, and I'm just really happy I was able to be a part of this. This is really fun. I'm super excited.
Amazing. We're super stoked to have you. Before we get started, do you just want to give a really quick overview just about your experience with sync and your music career, just for
Oh,
people who might not know?
yeah. Okay, 2 sentence bio. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I love making music that tells stories, and in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, I've been fortunate to be able to get my music placed in a lot of different brand opportunities and movie trailers, which I think is probably the thing I specialize in the most is like movie trailers and advertisements. But I love all music. I had a jazz degree and realized how much people ask for it. So yeah, that's how I got into sync licensing. So hopefully that helps.
Amazing. Like I said, we're definitely stoked to have you. So we're going to get right into it. The first song we're going to be listening to today is called State of Mind by the band Moon Tower.
Awesome. Let's check it out.
It's just a state of mind, state of mind. What if this is heaven? It's just a state of mind, state of mind. What if this is heaven? How long have you been sleeping? Missed you through endless nights. I guess it's only you and I now. God went on TV3, small payments for afterlife.
Nice. Nice, nice. Shout out to Moon Tower for sending that in.
Yo,
I
this
was
was an
feeling that.
experience. I love it.
I was definitely feeling that. Like, I love the brightness, like the summer vibe it gives. Like, I definitely can see this as, summer commercial TV ad type placement. What do you feel about that?
I agree. It screams advertisement, which is right up my alley. I really like how the arrangement of this whole song went. It got to the point within 15 seconds, which is great because 15 seconds, the commercial's probably over with, right? Or especially if you got something on YouTube, you want to skip it real quick. So that was really great. I also really liked how each piece of the arrangement had a different vibe. And that's extremely important because when you're pitching this stuff out to different music libraries like MDIIO and with their hyper audio, it gives them more moments to choose from, which as a music supervisor's perspective, you give them more stuff to work with all within one song, and that gives you more opportunities.
Yeah, they did an excellent job with the arrangement, like music wise with the production. I loved how each section had a different element, like with the drum dropouts. Yep. The synth with the vocal layering and different synth vocal effects. Like, I love that. Like you were saying, it definitely gives like more options for the music supervisors to work with. So yeah, great job with that. Moon Tower. What were you gonna say?
Well, yeah, I think that was really cool. And it didn't feel like a copy paste job, and I think that's the main thing because as a producer, like it's super easy to do that, especially maybe if you have like an artist that you normally work with, and you guys want to have the same set arrangement standards. But something cool that I think is really helpful with sync licensing is something that Lizzo's actually doing right now. Something that's going viral on TikTok right now is one of her songs, but it's the second verse. Now, if as a music creator, if we can get people to want to know what the second verse is going to do because it's different, you're going to again bolster your chances of making a sync placement because you got again different material.
Excellent point. Shout out to Moon Tower again for sending that in. Great record. I believe this is one of their new releases that was just released a week or two ago. So be on the lookout for them.
Oh, quick question, Moon Tower, if you're listening, I would also make an alternate version of this, maybe a 30-second spot, just so that you can have a button or stinger ending. Because the end of it, I think it's the last 15 seconds, it kind of cools down, which is great for like a commercial record. Like that's completely fine. But normally, especially in the commercial world, like it's like dead.
I have that sting.
You have to, because like someone else is paid for the next commercial spot. So you got to make sure that you're in and out of the way because like bleed over for the next commercial is not going to work. And you want to make it feel natural. So I would suggest maybe making an alternate version of this just so that you give the supervisor more options.
Great feedback with that. Awesome. So let's move on to our next one. We have Pakagay by Mikey Candela.
Let's get it.
Mikey Candela. Esto es un perreo sucio de sopa que guaye. Música de la calle. Nos vamos pa' una esquina donde no nos vea nadie. Y le doy duro hasta que se desmaye. Ey, pa' que guaye. Sácale la ropa, todo el detalle. Pa' que guaye. Guayale mahón, estamos en fire. Pam, pa' que guaye. Sácale la ropa, todo el detalle. Pam, pa' que guaye. Guayale mahón, estamos en fire. Traca, pónteme de espalda. Pégame en las nalgas y directito en la pared. Le digo, mami, ven, me la llevo de rehén. Si total lo que ella quiere es que le den. Sigue mi, ella perreando se le sale el G-string. Ella está bien a fuego, yo aquí en Disney. Perreo a tus amigas porque yo juego para el Dream Team. Aunque esté sudada yo me la como whipped cream. Esto es un perreo sucio de sopa que guaye. Música de la calle. Nos vamos pa' una esquina donde no nos vea nadie. Y le doy duro hasta que se desmaye. Ey, pa' que guaye. Sácale la ropa, todo el detalle. Pa' que guaye. Guayale mahón, estamos en fire. Pam, pa' que guaye. Sácale la ropa, todo el detalle. con otros palos a los sech. Más sácatelo del pech, todo eso que te saca por el tech. Total, este perro te da un refresh, fresh, fresh. Caje torque, usando la pared para soporte. Pa' salir me hace falta un remolque. Las que quieran más perreo, por favor que se reporten. Y preparen ese booty porque esto es un perreo sucio de sopa que guaye. Música de la calle. Nos vamos pa' una esquina donde no nos vea nadie. Y le doy duro, duro hasta que se desmaye. Ey, pa' que guaye, pa' que guaye. Sácale la ropa, todo el detalle. Pa' que guaye, pa' que guaye. Guayale maón, estamos en fire. Pam, pam, pa' que guaye, pa' que guaye. Sácale la ropa, todo el detalle. Pam, pam, pa' que guaye, pa' que guaye. Guayale maón, estamos en fire. Ey, Mikey Candela. Maniaco, Thanks Dire, Future Classics, estamos activos, baby.
Okay.
This was cool. This was cool. I like this. This was a whole vibe.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
I
Shout out to
really
Mikey.
the same deal. Like you guys had a really quick intro, which was dope, and then got right to the point, which I think is helpful. I like the length of this one too.
Yeah, me too.
Most times a sync license is only about anywhere between 30 to 40 seconds. I've never seen if you might I don't like to use the word luck, but like it's very fortunate if you find something over like a minute 30 for even TV shows because scenes change so frequently and sometimes the mood in a scene changes really quick. So like I like the length of this because it gets in and gets out.
Amazing. Yeah, I love the length. I love the cadence of his rap. I think it was very pleasing. It kept me intrigued the whole time. I definitely was digging that. Just production wise, like maybe a couple dropouts here and there, like we were saying for the previous song, just to kind of like switch it up musically, to keep it interesting, to have different sections for the supervisor to choose from. But overall, I love the reggaeton, the vibe that we had there, the feel that it made you just want to like dance kind of and just groove to it. Maybe J. Will, you can just explain a little bit like the difference between release songs and then songs for sync, just with arrangement and stuff like that, if you want to tap on that.
Yeah, arrangement's like the biggest thing, honestly, because especially I mean with reggaeton, it's hard because the style, like it's dance music, so like a lot of switch ups, you don't want to like cross somebody over and break their ankles, but at the same time, when it comes to stuff like this, it can work, especially in like a party scene, but you don't want to pigeonhole yourself too much. And so that's why arrangement is really important when it comes to making music for sync licensing, because now you can be used here in a party scene, you can be used in a beach crossover, or maybe as someone's doing a flight over some type of tropical area, you can do something like that. I'm basic. I'm sorry. I can't think of a lot of different other places.
It's good.
But like I live in the Midwest, sue me. So like that's the thing that like is really helpful. And then again, ear candy and things of the arrangement to kind of pull the listener's ears. Like I don't know what they're going to do next. That right there, listener retention is the best thing that you can do for sync licensing when it comes to arrangement. So like if you keep that in mind, you had maybe a stop or two in the very beginning. I would have loved to hear that later in the track as well. Just to again give some breaks so that maybe the producer can maybe add in some extra sprinkles on top or whatever, so that again it continues to raise the level of production quality.
Amazing.
Oh, one other quick point. I do like the quick stop that you had. Be careful with the lead synth that you had with the counter melody. Do 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 do. I have my EQ sitting here, and we had a resonant frequency that was sticking out just a little bit. It might have been an artistic decision, which is completely fine. If so, don't listen to me. But I think it's like at 1,000, somewhere around 1,000 to like 1,001 hertz. There was a resonant frequency. You want to be careful of those because most listeners, they don't know what it is, but it's almost a resonant tone can give annoyance to a track. And it didn't happen here, but I just saw it and I was like, oh, I would just keep an eye on it. That's all.
Some good tech feedback there. Shout out again to Mikey Candela for sending that in.
Yeah, this was dope.
Dope track, dope track. All right, so the next one we have is from Clarissa Diacono, and it's entitled Bad. Let's check that out.
Let's do it.
You said that I gave up. I don't think that's true. It's just that I don't feel the same way that you do. You're stuck on a feeling. I wish I were too. Wherever my heart went, it broke yours right in two. And when the time heals all your wounds, you will see that I wasn't meant to be with you. 'Cause I'm bad, so bad. I can't run from the lies, got me torn up inside once again to no end. You beg me not to leave, waiting so patiently, then I go my way, leaving you in the dark where you thought we'd go up. 'Cause I'm bad, so bad, what you had. I wish it were different, I know you do too. Caught up in a moment, I realize we're through. Guilt and regret, sadness and shame. All of these feelings are driving me insane. And when the time heals all your wounds, you'll see that I wasn't meant to be with you. 'Cause I'm bad, so bad. I can't run from the lies, got me torn up inside once again to no end. You beg me not to leave, waiting so patiently, then I came my way, leaving you in the dark where you thought we'd go up. 'Cause I'm bad, so bad, what you had. I had time to think about it. I've lost you just like I've been losing my mind. 'Cause I'm bad, so bad. I can't run from the lies, got me torn up inside once again to no end. You beg me not to leave, waiting so patiently, then I came my way, leaving you in the dark where you thought we'd go up. 'Cause I'm bad, so bad, what you had. 'Cause I'm bad, so bad. I can't run from the lies, got me torn up inside once again to no end. You beg me not to leave, waiting so patiently, then I came my way, leaving you in the dark where you thought we'd go up. 'Cause I'm bad, so bad, what you had. 'Cause I'm bad, so bad, what you had.
Loving it, loving it.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
Okay, this was nice.
Clarissa. Uh-oh.
This was nice. I like that her lyrics could fit in multiple different places.
That was my number one point.
Yeah, like it,
Yep.
you could fit this in totally like different scenes of different either TV shows, movies, and commercials. Honestly, if you want to do like female empowerment is a definitely like almost like a genre now in sync that like definitely like this could work 10 times over easily.
Yeah, that was brilliant with the lyric. Bad, like you were saying, simple. It can work in different areas for film and for TV. I really loved how there were a lot of surprises, like musically with the production, like just coming out of the first verse into the pre-hook part, like how it kind of like chilled out and smoothed out, and then you had this more like aggressive groove beat type thing come in with the bad.
Yeah, the synth bass was
rocky.
nasty.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved it. It definitely, like you were saying, was a lot of ear candy, a lot of moments in this song that kind of like kept me hooked and listening throughout. So great job.
I also like the arrangement because it built over time.
Yep.
that's also something that's like extremely important. I like to call it the arc method or whatever, because again, it gives anticipation of what's coming next, while at the same time delivering on what you need as far as with like we have this moment here and then we have this moment here. It everything worked very very well. Only suggestion is that this song is like 3.5 minutes. So maybe if you had an alternate version, like keep this one because this one sounds great, but maybe have an alternate version that's maybe a little bit shorter. Chop some of the sections in half just to condense it a little bit. I think that would help get this synced because you have to. I mean, you have to listen to the whole thing. Like it's that good. So like if you want to maybe as a from a music supervisor's perspective, normally they have deadlines and so they're trying to skip through tracks and stuff like that. So if you have it a little more condensed with obviously the best parts in this, which there's a ton of, you'll have more what's the word? Playability back so that they'll be able to come back and make sure it fits with their scene or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that
Yeah, for sure.
hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. And especially at the end, like I was waiting for these vocal ad libs to come in and she gave it to me. So I was like, yes. She delivered with that. Because a lot of times when you have songs, like you were saying, the copy and paste method of just being repetitive vocally. So it's always good to have like these extra layers vocally to just kind of like make your song pop. Additional ear candy on the vocal end. So
and the harmonies.
Yes.
It's like, yo, somebody's a jazz major doing their stuff in here. 'Cause I definitely heard some extra extensions on the chords. Those were nice. Those are always tasteful for me. So that was awesome.
Yeah. So great job. Shout out to Clarissa for sending this in. Thank you so much.
Sounds great.
Yep. We're gonna move on to our next one. We have Hummingbirds by Andrew Aguilar. Kind of music cue.
Very bright, yeah.
Right, yeah. What do you think about that?
I totally could see this in like a reality TV show when they're switching scenes to maybe go to another character.
Oh, think you're muted.
Oops, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Wait, did you hear any of that?
I saw a reality series in between when they switch scenes.
Okay, cool.
After that, we lost you.
Okay. Yeah, reality TV shows use these kind of cues all the time, because it sets the mood for what's coming up next. You can also use it. So this is what I like to call, if it was a little bit shorter, I'd call it a button. And basically what these are these little cues that they put in front of like everything. So like when the TV show comes back on, they might have a little quip or like clip of music right before they get back to the characters from commercial break, and on the back end of the scene as well. So these are like, they're hidden gems in sync because when they get into a music supervisor's catalog, they use them over and over and over again. And that's just extra. Yeah, that's extra sync placements for you, which is great. And it runs your list of things you've been on. It's just, everybody wins when you have stuff like this. So that was cool. The other thing that I would suggest with this is to make sure you have a build through the whole thing. I really like the build from, what is that, second 1 to like, what is that, bar 9? I don't have the right BPM, but like, yeah, like from 1 to 16, it was like a huge build. I would have kept that or carried that the whole way through. Or what you could do is switch it. So like the second half of your track, put that at the beginning and kind of continue to build that way. that just gives you again more options. I would make some alternate versions of this because it can definitely get placed.
For sure, for sure. Love that. Thank you, Andrew. And definitely be looking out. We mentioned earlier Hyper Audio just very briefly, but that's our new AI powered search engine where music supervisors can discover your music and hopefully license it through our platform. But we are having like playlists on the homepage that you can submit to through MDIIO. So Andrew, like your cue like that, be looking out. We're gonna have some briefs coming. Since you're our MDIIO member, look out for that to be able to submit your music to these playlists where you can better your chances of having your music discovered for sync opportunities and stuff like that. So
I wanted to mention too, a lot of the I don't have it right in front of me, but when I first downloaded these before I threw them into my DAW, a lot of them already had the album art and all that kind of stuff like embedded into the tracks via metadata. That is a very, very good idea to continue to do that. Because now if I needed to find your contact information, if I was a supervisor or something like that, maybe I wasn't using, I wasn't in MDIIO at that moment in time, I can still get your information real quick and make sure that I have everything in order to clear it for a sync placement. So I really like how professional a lot of these tracks were with having a visual, even though it's a small thing, but it makes it's like a next level of professionalism for sure. Yeah. So great job.
Definitely. All right, moving on to our last submission for today. We have Dave Sully, and the title is Start a War.
Let's hear it.
Just run away. I'll do what I can to forget your name. But I just waste time with you on my mind. I've been weak. It's impossible. You're inevitable to me. I'm what you call a soldier for love. I will fight for you. There's only so much I can do when your heart is afraid to lose. You used to call me repeatedly, tell me I'm yours. Now that you're leaving, I'm scared that you might start a war. Every time I touch my phone, I see your name. It gives me warmth, I know you feel the same. But when you finally look at me, your eyes come down right to your feet. I'm sorry for the shame. You used to call me repeatedly, tell me I'm yours. Now that you're leaving, I'm scared that you might start a war. Start a war.
Interesting.
Oh my goodness. That is not what I expected. That was
Shot?
fire. I oh man. So I when I looked at the title, this is something that's very, very important to know too. The titles of songs will help you get placements, believe it or not. Because I was definitely expecting a different sound or sonic coming from this song, just from the title.
Mm.
And so like when it threw me left, I was like, oh, I gotta finish listening to this now. Cause like that for me, like I get goosebumps listening to music when it goes in a different direction than I normally expect.
Mm.
I've heard a lot of music, so like this is definitely one of them that did that, just from the cusp, just because the title was different. So great job. I mean, the lyric was great.
Yes.
I really like the vocal production on this as well, especially towards the end. You had the I don't know if that was like a megaphone effect or something like that, but I really liked what you did with the backgrounds. To kind of again make different musical moments. It was just oh man, it's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
see
very
this.
musical.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying it was very, very musical. Like I love the breakdown, the acapella section with just the bass. Like I was really, really feeling that. And I think that's a great moment, like for Sync, just to have an acapella section, because that's pretty specific.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to have that moment in the song, like I really, really appreciated that.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you give the vocalist some shine as well. Which
Yeah.
is awesome. I think that I could hear this every day of the week in like an end credit of a movie or TV show,
Mm.
especially a movie because there's a lot of
Movie, yeah.
cinematic work in here. And I like making cinematic sounding stuff just because it's bombastic and obnoxious sometimes. But like I like the booms and stuff that he was using.
Yes.
Quick suggestion. Sometimes it can make them sound even more dramatic if you have like it's not a riser, but it's kind of like a whoosh right before the boom. So you get
Like a little build.
it's almost like a trailerized effect, but it creates more it gives more of a open what's one of the word I'm looking for it gives more width to your track before the actual boom happens because you hear all this high energy and then all of a sudden like the carpet gets ripped from under you with the boom. So like it could help. Again, artistic decision. Don't listen to me. But, yeah,
Amazing,
this
amazing.
was great.
Yeah, that was very soulful, heartfelt. Like I loved it. The lyric definitely, I think, is syncable. The topic of it, just the start of war effect, I think, was a very, very good choice. Love it, love it, love it. What do you feel about the timing?
It was a little long, but I mean, it's hard to syncing slower songs. They have their own niche, right? So like because of it's slower, but it still has perpetuative. I can't talk today. It has motion that keeps everything going, right? So like it works, but if you could condense it, I'm sure don't touch this. Make a different version. Alternate versions are your
Alternate
friend
version.
for everybody. Make alternate versions for this stuff, just so that like you can have your art and kind of your cake too, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I think outside of it, the timing just because of it's slower. If you condensed it by chopping stuff in half, it could help. But I don't want to ruin your art, so like don't if you don't have to.
Great feedback, great feedback. So that's all the songs that we have for today. I just want to take a minute and thank everyone who submitted. If you weren't chosen, be looking out. We will be doing this again very, very soon. So make sure that you look out for the project briefs coming to your email. If you're new to MDIIO and you want to join, we're dropping a link right now in the comments section with our information where you can go follow, get information on how to join, how to submit your music, and how to be a part of this fantastic community. Jay Will, is there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap it up here?
I'm just happy to be a part of this. This was great. There was some bangers in here, y'all. I mean, there's some heat in here, so I'm just happy to be able to sit back and listen. Especially because some of the stuff is unreleased yet, right? So that's really cool. Yeah. So if you guys ever have any other questions, MDIIO is a great resource for finding out more about sync licensing. I also have an educational program that we do for free on at least once or twice a month. So check out the link in bio for all that kind of information. But yeah, I mean, keep submitting stuff. That's honestly the biggest piece of advice I would probably want to give when it comes to sync licensing is you got to create at scale and just keep making music, because that's honestly, that's the dream, right? To be able to do that. So yeah, great job,
Amazing.
guys.
Thank you so much for joining us and letting us take over your Instagram today for this Feedback Friday session.
This was
We
my pleasure.
appreciate it. Appreciate the gems that you dropped. Just remember, everyone, to follow us on our accounts. Again, we're dropping them in the comment section below, so you can stay up to date with more Feedback Friday, with playlist opportunities and other events that we have coming up. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time.
Get out there and make something dope.